Welcome to the most recent episode of Unschooled. You are here with myself and Lexi Moriarty Duquette, and we have a beautiful guest today. Lexi, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes, we have Phil LaCoss from Zen Valley CBD here in the beautiful Green Mountain States. And I was so fortunate to attend a session at a local place called Jasper Forest where he sponsored, and it was a CBD. He came in with his CBD, taught us about it, and then we had a beautiful yoga session, and we got to incorporate the products that we were given in it. And when we got to hear him speak, I knew right away that this was somebody we had to get on here because I'll let him tell his story, but it's right in alignment with what we like to talk about and share. And it's just good information. And I know a lot of people are asking questions about CBD. What does it do? How does it work? And what is a good brand? What is a good, where do I find it? What is it used for? So I think Philip here will be able to shed lots of light and share some great knowledge with us. So if you would like to share a little bit about yourself, your brand, share your story and your mission, we'd love to hear.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lexi, Mandy, for having me on. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to do this interview with you. And so, yeah, a little bit about me. I live up in Lamoille County, Morrisville, Vermont, and I actually got into CBD in 2019, shortly after coming back from my last deployment overseas. I've been in the service, Vermont Army National Guard for 15 years. I have, 2 combat deployments, and what I found was with CBD, it helped with my anxiety, so that I could function and relax a little bit. And that was sort of, and I found it worked so much that I continue to use it even though I'm in the service and I'm not supposed to. So I have to use it very carefully and sparingly. But I believe in it so much because I know how much my wife as well is a combat veteran, and so she uses it.
Thank you for your service, by the way. And thank you for speaking openly about this because I know it serves so many other veterans too.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. And that's, one direction we want to take Zen Valley CBD, or one thing we want to be able to do is to eventually provide CBD or even cannabis products, because we are branching off into Vermont's adult use market, as it is called. But to provide that to other veterans at no cost, because, they've earned it, in our opinion, and most people, many people have. So to be able to provide that, especially because you don't get that from the VA, you can get a bunch of other drugs. And I talked to so many veterans too that have found, I want to say, the benefit of CBD, that it works for them. So yeah, 2019 started up to do extraction, really, and then quicker than planned, did branch out to our brand, Zen Valley CBD, and just been building that from there. That's the quick and short. I tend to be quick and short to the point, so it's better if you ask me questions and pull that out.
No, it is so wonderful, and I am so thankful for your service, for yours and your wife's, and for you guys coming forward for this, because it's not fair. I had started my personal journey in Western medicine, thinking I wanted to go nursing and become a nurse practitioner, and I wanted to help people. And what I saw while working in that field was so frustrating. You get locked in not being able to say anything either while you're working in that field because of all these rules, these laws, and you just watch people get stuck in these cycles where they're just looking for help to heal, looking for help to feel better and to live a fruitful, thriving life instead of being stuck in survival mode. And they just kind of get you hooked on prescriptions. They hand you another one and then another one, and they're not meant to work with our body. And if you look at the definition of medicine, medicine is supposed to be something that helps you heal and doesn't create more symptoms, when most of the medicine out there that are pharmaceutical actually has how many side effects? versus how many benefits.
Sometimes you read those, you hear the side effects, you're like, oh, maybe I'm good without this.
Exactly.
Desensitized to it too. They're all over. All the side effects are all over all the commercials all the time, and it's like, oh yeah, no, that's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal to have diarrhea and like 500 other side effects, for just treating a migraine or, stomach acid or pain. And so and also for me, our veterans are the ones that we owe our freedom to, right? And I feel like a big part is that society does not give them the respect or the support or anything they need. And we're watching what is the statistics for the suicide for our vets is
22 a day. Yeah.
It's disgusting. It should not be. And a lot of the times, if you look and follow the trail, there's a lot of times certain medications that actually cause it. A lot of like the SSIs, those medications can cause suicidal thoughts. It can cause worsening of depression. And that's why I'm a big advocate for plant medicine. And this is one of my favorite plant medicines. And so one of the things you shared at our yoga, at the class, was about how CBD actually can help with the THC. Would you mind sharing a little bit about that?
So they have a relationship that they activate off each other. So like an antagonist relationship. So it's almost as if this THC activates the CBD. If you will. So I've talked to many people, for example, who will use a THC-free product or even a broad spectrum, which is still THC-free. Sorry, I was thinking an isolate. They'll use like a CBD isolate or a broad spectrum. Both of those types of oils, CBD oils or products, are THC-free. And what I discover through conversation is when they've told me CBD doesn't work, generally they've used a THC-free product. And of course, they're trying to stay away from the THC because of the what's the word I'm looking for?
There's so many stigmas.
The bad rep. The bad rep, exactly. Yeah. And CBD is like, it's not that bad. There's still a lot of people that will turn their nose up to it and say, oh, drugs, oh, weed. Like, all right, you'll come around. They're saying people open up all their pills for the week and take 5 pills a day. So I always find that comical, like, oh, drugs. I'm like, okay, all right. But anyways, so yeah, so when the CBD and THC are able to combine, because THC is the psychoactive compound or cannabinoid within the cannabis plant. Now, with a full spectrum oil, which is what we do, we have up to 0.3% THC. And so it's not enough to induce that psychoactive high. It certainly does help the CBD to activate and provide with a more relaxed, especially if you're using it for anxiety or stress, sleep. It helps with so many different things. And sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and I find too, I've heard people that complain with getting like anxious when they smoke, the CBD, the full spectrum, they notice they don't have that anxiety. It helps the anxiety sometimes more, is what I've come across in
absolutely. And if you've smoked a high THC strain, and but you mix it with CBD, that CBD is what induces that relaxed feeling when smoking.
I used to be just like strict THC, and since actually the session, I have now incorporated CBD more regularly. Like I would have it once in a while, but I notice a huge difference now when I pair them together, that the benefit almost seems so much more potent and stronger. So I'll do my tincture and then smoke, and I love it. And so I want to also have you speak a little bit on, because I don't think a lot of people know the difference between full spectrum, broad spectrum, and isolate. So if you could speak a little bit about that, and then about what your product, because I have to show off one of the beautiful Zen Valley CBD oil bottles.
Thank you.
We have a local store that had multiple people come in and ask for Zen Valley. Once they did that, she was like, all right, I got to find who this Zen Valley is and get it in my shop. She did. And the whole town is grateful for her. We're all grateful for her for finding or making sure to get Phil in there. And his products are amazing. So.
But yeah, to answer the question or to get more in depth about the different types of oils. So there are, three main types of oils out there. You got your isolate, which is only going to contain CBD. There's not going to be any other cannabinoids. Now there's over 120 cannabinoids that can exist within the cannabis plant. So what an isolate does is it just isolates only CBD. And that's all that exists with that oil. A broad spectrum will have other cannabinoids, and it depends on the extraction process. So, for example, I do full spectrum, so I can't isolate cannabinoids, but other types of extraction processes can separate those cannabinoids from each other. So that's why you'll see products that will say, with CBG or with CBN, and the different, they can isolate those cannabinoids and add them in. So a broad spectrum will have that. But again, no presence of THC. A full spectrum, which is what we do, has all those existing cannabinoids to include up to 0.3% THC. I just had a thought on, but I lost it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Come back if it's meant to be. There is no pressure here at Unschooled.
Yeah. So that's that. We do full spectrum. That's what we believe in. And I don't want to talk bad about any type of oil because everybody finds what works best for them. I have found THC-free CBD. It really doesn't work for me. Doesn't provide me with the same benefit. Now, on the opposite side of that coin, I've talked to people who don't want to use a full spectrum oil, specifically because they don't react very well to THC. So that isolate or broad spectrum is better for them. So again, like I said in the beginning, everyone is different and how much they're going to take and of what type of oil. So I guess the point that I'm getting to there is don't try CBD once and say it doesn't work. Adjust the dosage, check the type of oil, and find what is going to work best.
I think that's great advice. I also feel like sometimes people are concerned that they'll test positive on a drug test if they take CBD with a little THC in it. What do you think there?
Great point. That's actually what was on the tip of my tongue that I want to talk about. So yes, full spectrum oil, it will show up on a urinalysis, those levels of THC. And then we hear those stories of people that say, hey, I used a THC free and I still tested for THC. So my theory, if you will, behind this is when a company sends oil out to a lab to be tested, there's a level of quantification. It says we only can detect down to this much. So this government standard is 15 nanograms is what they test for. It's actually a metabolite that is broken down. When the body breaks down THC, it creates a metabolite that is actually being tested for. And it's 15 nanograms of that. We'll just say THC for simplicity. So let's say, for example, a test can detect down to 14 nanograms, and anything below 14 nanograms, it's not going to detect. So it says there's no THC in this oil because it didn't detect anything below 14 nanograms. So let's say there's 12 nanograms of THC, but the test is only testing down to 14. But use over time allows that THC to build up in your body. Just like smoking high potency THC products, regular THC or cannabis, right? If you smoke once and you don't really smoke, it's gonna leave your body in 3 days. But if you smoke every day or every couple of days, it takes longer for your body to cleanse because that THC is building up. So that's my theory as to why you get so many people saying, I use a THC-free product and still tested for THC. Yes, the lab results said there was no THC in there based off their quantification. However, that use over time with the undetectable amounts created a detectable amount within one's body. And I would love to have a science experiment on that to find out.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a lot of people's fears. I know my husband drives truck. He is always so afraid of taking anything to mess with that, yet suffers through back pain and things that it would be nice to see him get. It's so crazy to me.
My dad is a over the road truck driver as well. Same situation. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy that they are not allowed plant medicine that was given to us that is meant to work with our body. We already have CBD receptors in our body, just waiting for some support and help to connect. It's not like the CBD is putting those receptors into our body. They're already there, ready to receive the support, and they make a small amount already. So it's just helping our body do what it naturally wants to do. And they want to make it hard on people to get the help that they need.
It's the times catching up, right? Is what it comes in. And actually, Lexi, you bring up a great point to a segue into the endocannabinoid system, which is a nerve system that runs through everyone's body. And endocannabinoid system, it's not a coincidence that it sounds like cannabinoids, because it was named after the cannabis plant and its makeup. When research was being done, they found that our body is producing a lot of these same cannabinoids that resembles, and that it does, the cannabinoids interact with these receptors within our body. And so it was named after cannabis.
That's so cool.
It's like one of my favorite facts along the way, because I love learning more. I've realized and seen, like, so that system, we have our pineal gland and what is it, the pine cone, and something that, like, there's so many things in nature that are similar and based off of our bodies, and there's the wisdom within nature, I think, that is there for us to be tapping into, and it's our time to tap into it. And that's like been one of our goals here on Unschooled, is normalizing that and holding that space for it to not be scary or shameful or feel, afraid to get that, or try some earth care.
We're all from the earth. We're all naturally made, so we're connected. Absolutely.
That's one of my favorite things, like when you just kind of zoom out and take a bigger picture look at how abundant and how quickly cannabis or hemp grows in so many places around the world, and how many things it can serve not only the world with, but us. And like there's so many amazing benefits to it. And I always like to look at that, like what's showing up in abundance around us naturally, and like how can we pay attention to that. And it's so interesting because you can be a truck driver and you can't use cannabis or CBD, but you could go and get drunk every night for 12 hours and then hop right back in the truck and it's all good. And that process takes even more.
Yeah. It's the same being in service, how many times I've shown up hungover or still drunk to report in, or to do, honestly, some of my best physical fitness tests I did while still drunk.
I believe it.
And that's no secret. Everyone does it.
Right. It's so acceptable. It's wild.
Yeah.
So will you talk a little bit about the products that you guys are offering right now that people can get and how that can help?
Yeah. So we do, our, the flagship product is the CBD oil. And, we have two different strengths. We've got the 900 milligram, which I think you have there. And then we have a 1950 milligram and the 1 ounce bottle size. And I'll actually get into that a little bit too, because that's what I've learned, that dosing, the milligrams, is an aspect of using CBD that I would say 90% of even people using don't understand. Ask anyone who uses CBD how many milligrams they take. They're either going to say, I don't know, or I take 900 milligrams. Right. Yeah, they just see 900 milligrams on the bottle. So for that particular bottle, it's a 1 ounce bottle. So there's 30 milliliters. and each milliliter is 30 milligrams. So it's 30 servings if you take a full milliliter. And again, I always tell everyone start low and slow. And that's kind of a term in the CBD world, and should be in cannabis as well for anyone getting into that. But low and slow to find out what's going to work for you for a good dosage. And I say that too because, yeah, 30 milligrams may work great, but you might find that 15 milligrams was plenty and you're just using more than you need to. And let's not be coy. It can be expensive. So if you don't need to don't take more than you need. It's not going to hurt you. But I always say, if you're looking for anxiety relief, stress relief, or even pain relief, but all you wanted to do was go to sleep, well, now you know the dose to help you go to sleep, to cut back from there and find that happy medium. So yeah, the oils, and then of course those dosages, basically we'll break it down to the 30 milligram per serving, and then there's the 65 milligram per serving that come in the 1 ounce. And then there's 2 ounce bottles of each of those dosages, so it's just twice as much in the bottle.
And you use coconut oil.
Yes,
you had
I do.
shared why.
So it's honestly, I do want to experiment with other oils. Actually, avocado is on the table to experiment with, just because I've had customers that want to use the product, but they are allergic to the coconut. They can't use that. So using other oils is absolutely plausible. I just have not experimented with it yet to see what it changes for just the extraction process, temperature, time, because we're using a different product. But organic coconut oil is pretty standard throughout the industry, using coconut oil, MCT. Now, MCT is just medium chain triglycerides. They separate the lighter. I don't know a whole lot about that science, but they separate the oil. So you got your virgin coconut oil, right? It's more solid, and then the MCT oil. So that they've separated those triglycerides, I guess, if you will. So it doesn't solidify at such a lower temperature. It has a lower melting temperature, I guess it is. So yeah, so we got that. And then we'll go into salves. Salves are huge, great for pain relief. Now, they're great for localized pain, meaning if muscle pain, joint pain. That's what I recommend our stronger salves for. We have a less potent salve, about 150 milligrams, that many people do find work well for muscle pain, joint pain, but I usually recommend that more for more like rashes, bug bites, things like that. And it's going to depend, again, everyone's different, how their bodies are going to react to it, and your pain threshold as well. So salves are great for that. And many people, well, why won't I take pain oil for pain? And you can. If someone says, hey, I've got pain down here, over here, and there, well, you can lather yourself up in salve, or you can use the oil. The oil is going to take a little longer to process through the kidneys and distribute that, a whole body distribution. Whereas the salve, you can apply it directly to the bothersome area, the affected area, and you'll find that relief quicker, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. And it says we got lip balm. Lip balm is awesome. Dry air, your lips crack, you got the pain relief from the CBD, plus the healing benefits for skin rejuvenation and moisturizing. We do it all. We use organic ingredients whenever possible. I mean, if we can't get anything in organic, then we'll go to natural, like if it just doesn't exist. But we stick to beeswax, shea butter, cocoa butter. And then what else do we have? We got oh, sorry.
You have capsules too, did I see?
Capsules, yes, sorry. Yeah, so the capsules are that right now we do liquid capsules. It's the same oil that's in the bottle. A benefit to the capsules versus the oil. That's another question I get a lot. The unflavored oil is because it is a natural extraction process that we do straight from the plant into the oil. It has a very earthy taste to it. and aroma, which I enjoy. Many people do, not everyone does. After all, it is a medicine, but so what the capsules do is it just makes it easy to swallow that oil, get the oil down without tasting the oil. We do flavored oils, which helps to mask that earthy taste flavor a little bit. But yeah, we're not making energy drinks or, you know, fruit cocktails here.
On that note, though, what are some of the ways that you encourage people to consume your cannabis oil? I know you can just do it right under your tongue, but you can also probably cook with it or put it in tea or do other things, right?
Yep. And I just say personal preference. As long as you're finding a way to consume that and it's working for you. Under the tongue, hold 10 to 20 seconds. Some people say 2 minutes. 2 minutes is unrealistic and a long time to hold oil under your tongue. You know, 10 to 20 seconds, you're going to absorb some of that and then you swallow. You can put it in a beverage. It's oil, so it does float on top. A lot of people find that unappealing. I've had people say they put it on their salad, you know, mix it with their dressing. You can cook with it. My mother-in-law makes fudge with it. I've made fudge to bring to markets using her recipe. It's delicious. I've made, you know, no-bake cookies. I do try to avoid doing anything that is going to put more heat to the oil, because if you are cooking with it and you're bringing it over, you know, 210 degrees, you're going to just start cooking off CBD and THC. So try to avoid that when cooking.
That's really good to know. That's good advice.
Yeah. And we do have gummies. We're sort of in between formulations, just trying to perfect them. We had really big gummies that a lot of people love, but trying to find something that people are more comfortable with as far as new users, if you will.
Understood. We're curious what you guys come up with.
Yeah, thanks.
Lex, do you have any more questions for Phil?
No, I'm excited to know that you're getting into the Vermont cannabis use too. So what's your timeline looking like that for Vermonters?
So yeah, we just we passed our inspection last week. Right now, I'm just waiting on, you know, the thumbs up on our insurance and banking documentation, and we'll have our license in hand and we'll be in dispensaries soon. It's been a slow rollout for everyone. It'll be a slow rollout for us as well. We'll have some product just to get out there and feed the beast, if you will. But yeah, Zen Valley Cannabis will be our what we'll be operating under, because we wanted to make sure we are keeping a distinction between the cannabis product and the CBD product, because they are two different products with different effects, and we don't want anyone taking CBD thinking it's cannabis, or worse off, taking cannabis thinking it's CBD. So yeah, you'll see that pretty soon here, I'm sure.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. And I just wanted to share your mission statement, because your mission statement really stood out to me. I love it. In our goodie bag that we got from our thing, we have this wonderful pamphlet that was super informative. It like tells you everything, the uses for it, they're different, the full spectrum, broad spectrum, isolate, and their different products. But their mission is assist with the emotional and intellectual recovery of those who experience symptoms of PTSD and promote mindfulness and balance of mental health awareness for veterans. I love it. I'm so excited. We have some wonderful veterans a part of Sea Goddess Healing Arts, the Jane Doe Project, and they're, you know, on the mission to just supporting veterans in their healing and their journey. So I'm really hoping to get you guys, maybe bring you into a sound bath in Jersey or something, have you come down and share, and, you know, collab some more with you and get your product to veterans and just get it out there. Because you and your wife are doing an amazing job, and I am so grateful for your product, your story, and all that you are doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's been an adventure.
I can only imagine. Can people buy your products online?
Absolutely. ZenValleyCBD.com.
Awesome. That's how everyone finds you and gets a hold of you.
Yep, ZenValleyCBD.com. All my contact information's there. If anyone fills anything out for contact, it goes straight to me. You know who you're talking with. And yeah, we can ship to all 50 states, of course. Well,
Beautiful.
technically
Oh,
not Alaska, but nah. It's
That's
interesting. It's
awesome.
legal in Alaska, but because you have to cross over Canadian airspace to get it there, technically illegal.
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, it's got to be because of the gap there. Interesting. And yeah, we've been really lucky and fortunate. Like Lexi was saying, we get to work closely with some amazing veterans, Jen and Kevin in our group, and Adrian and a few other people. And they have repeatedly said that CBD helps a ton, sound bath healing, psilocybin. We're learning more about all that, and so many other things, just yoga, certain stuff. And there's such a community of veterans who went through what they had to go through and are wanting to heal it and share it with others. And it's just an honor to witness that. And it's just, we're really grateful for you sharing your story. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. And then also, last question, we got your website. Are you on any social medias that people could follow?
Yeah, absolutely. So Facebook, Zen Valley CBD, and then also on Instagram at Zen Valley CBD. And you can find our cannabis page there as well at Zen Valley Cannabis.
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you so much for spending time with us, for sharing with us, for schooling us in some things. Lexi, anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you so much. I am just so glad we got to have this space and share this knowledge with others. And I cannot wait for Zen Valley Cannabis in Vermont coming soon.
Super.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Yes, take care. We will be in touch. Thanks, Lexi.
Bye.
Thanks, Phil. Bye-bye.
Bye.